We are now moving towards the third section of our Access database learning. In the very first section, we saw various terminologies and concepts relation to the Access database, which help us learn the Access interface and how we can easily and effectively use the tools that are available with Access. In the second section, we were completely dealing with this object called tables. We saw how to create tables. We saw its various features, its structure. We saw how to import data from Excel into Access, and then also various formatting tools to utilize that information and make it more presentable. So this is what we have done up till now till the second section. The third section is about queries. Queries is another object in your Access database which helps you manipulate data from your tables. But queries can work only when you have linked your table effectively. That was the last video that we saw in your section number 2, wherein we saw how we can create relationships between the tables, and then now we are going to utilize those relationships in order to create something called as a query. In this video, we are going to use the query wizard in order to create a query from single tables as well as multiple tables. What is a query? Query basically helps us select a subset of fields and tables, and then you will be able to represent all of it in a single object. Let's say you want certain data from two different tables, but then you cannot analyze it effectively. But with the help of query, you can combine those two pieces of information, come together with one, and then show it as a query and then analyze the data available there. Here you will be able to specifically focus on only certain kind of data that you want to study. For example, yes, and queries are made from tables that we have. Okay, each of the table has certain piece of information, okay, which can be used to make a query, and we can do that only because we have created relationships. Please remember this point. Let's in the contracts table, we require the order ID and we require the product ID. From the customers table, I realize that I do not require so much information. I want only the customer's name, the city that they belong to, and their phone number. Even this much information is going to be enough for me to analyze the data. So in such a case, a query can be used because we are going to use only that piece of information, that part of data, because I want to focus only on that amount of data. When you go to this popular search engine Google and you type in the keywords that you want to search, if you directly type in those keywords, Google is going to give you the exact search. Okay, it helps you focus on specific data only. Similarly, query works. If I want to focus only on the customer name and the city that they belong to, here I am having a lot of data, which is kind of misleading and confusing to me. So why not create a query which has only this information? Not only that, if I want to combine the two tables, as I told, from customers table I take the customer name and city, and from the contracts table I take the product ID and the order ID. I combine these two to create one query which will help me analyze data which I want to study for the customers. Correct? I can get answers to questions such as which customer is placing orders for which product and how many times. All that can be calculated very easily once you have linked your data correctly in the relationships that we saw here in the database tools. Okay, so let's now do this thing wherein we'll create a query from a single table first, which is going to be a very easy process. So let's do that. We need to go to the create tab as we did for the tables. We also have a thing wherein we can create queries. We're going to create query using the query wizard. So let's click on query wizard and you will find the various options of creating a query. We're going to create a simple query. So let's select only simple query and click on OK. As soon as you do that, the simple query wizard will open up. It is basically asking you which fields do you want in your query. Now let's say I want some information from the customers table. Okay, here the customers table have different piece of information. It has customer ID, name, city, country, contact name, phone, email. I do not want to study all of this data. I want only specific piece of information. What can I do that in that case? I just need to select it and put it in my query. So let's say I want the customer's name. So I select customer's name and you need to click on this arrow over here. As soon as you do that, you will find that this field has come into picture. The next thing that you can select, that you want to select, is the city. So city is selected and you can click on this arrow. Let's say I want also the phone number. So I click on phone and click on the arrow. Okay, so this is all I want in the query. Let's say I also want the email ID. I click it again. Now I realize that I do not want the phone number. In that case, you need to click on this back button and there it goes again back to the table. If you click on these two double arrows, which is pointing towards this area, you will find that all the fields are available in the query. In case you want that to go back, you just need to click on this back button, back arrows, and it will go back. Finally, let me select what all I want. I want the customer name, city, and phone number. This should be fine for my query. Then I click on next. What title do you want to give to your query? I'll keep it as customer's query only. Do you want to open the query or modify the query's design? Open this into a new information, modify the query design. We'll open the query to view information and click on finish. As soon as you do that, you will find that this customer's query is open in front of you with the information you wanted. That is the customer's name, city, and phone number. And you see one more object head has come up, queries, which is the customer's query. So this is how you can create your query in the most simple manner. Isn't it easy? It's just a few steps and the data which you want to analyze is ready in front of you. Okay, now let's work on creating a query from multiple tables. How does that happen? Now before we go to that, I also want to tell you all something, that let's say in the customers table, if you were to update any kind of a data, okay, I want to add a customer, what will happen is as soon as you add that customer will also get updated in the customer's query. Okay, because this happens because this query is coming from the tables. Hence whatever updation takes place in the table, it is going to come back in the query. Now let's go back to the database tools and check the relationship we have between these tables. Whenever you're working on multiple table kind of a query, you need to ensure that the relationship is well maintained. We have already seen this, wherein we saw that there are primary and foreign keys available with us, which helped us prepare this relationship. So with this in place, you should be very easily able to prepare a query with the help of multiple tables. Okay, let's do that now. Let's go to the Create tab. Click on Query Wizard, Simple Query, and let's say, see now under options you also have customer query. So in case you want any information from this query, you can take that as well, but we are working only on the tables. So first of all, I require the customers table, wherein let's say I want just the customer's name. So I select that, and under the contracts table, I also want the order ID and the amount, the contracts amount. Okay, so these three information is what I require in this query that I'm creating from multiple tables. Once you've selected the fields, you just need to click on next. And would you like a detailed or a summary query? We would like a detailed one. Let's keep it to the default only. Click on next, and it'll ask us to give us a name. So we'll write customers contract. Once that is done, open the query to view information and click on finish. As soon as that is done, we have the customers contract query ready in front of us with the required information. We have the customer's name, the order ID that they have placed, and the amount that we're going to get from that customer. So like this, what we have done is we have basically combined two tables in order to give us a piece of information that we want to analyze with respect to the customers. So this is how we create a simple query using a single table and multiple tables.